Void could work.
Oh, that'd be a good catch too.
Very well as well.
I really like Void against Lifestealer. Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh, a magical LD.
Yeah, that could be a bit of a deny pick as well. Lifestealer is good against the LD, but we saw yesterday just how annoying
Here
it would
we
be.
go.
Oh, wow.
Hey now,
Wow.
first time for us to see Meepo.
Yeah,
A Dahak Meepo. Interesting, the Meepo in the same team as an OD. You know, normally these heroes are going to be in the same lane, but we're going to see one of them taken to the side lane. But a Meepo.
Kyle, talk to me about this Meepo.
It's just a pretty hard counter to Night Stalker Lifestealer. You just spam lock them down, you kill them the entire game, and you accelerate too quickly. The problem with this Gambit draft is just that they are reliant upon acquiring map control to win the game, because Prophet, ODs, Meepo, they all need so much space. They can farm like crazy fast, but if you're locked on your own half, you're screwed, and you're eventually going to get outscaled by NaVi. We saw this time and time again. Like, Prophets just fall off hard. I think your win timing is around that 25-30 minute mark. Get a Rax on first Roche, end game second Roche. NaVi, just survive. Eventually your Lifestealer comes online, and you abuse the map with the Night Stalker's vision control. So it'll be a cool match. I like the last pick, though.
All right, so Kyle, lock it in. Tell me who's going to win game 1.
Hard to say. This is an outlier of a game, but I think the Night Stalker is going to prove too much for Gambit to really outplay NaVi with, so I'm going to go NaVi.
NaVi.
Yeah, I've got to go NaVi as well. I'm excited to see the Meepo, but I don't actually think it's going to be that good this game, because I think they have ways to get on top of it, and if the Lifestealer gets his Midas Radiance, it's now going to be sort of a Lifestealer that's not as scared of Meepos as he was in the past.
Yep.
Sheever, can you give me a way? They both pick NaVi, right?
Yeah, I'm going for Gambit.
Oh, you're going for Gambit. Tell me how.
Because it seems very clear, at least if you simplify the drafts, one wins the early game, one wins late game. Can Gambit do enough in the early game to not allow NaVi to do stuff late game? And I think they can.
Okay.
So I believe in the Meepo this game.
Well, Loot.bet is going to be agreeing with the boys here. If you put $1 on NaVi, you're going to make $1.79. But if you put $1 on Gambit, it's $1.88. So this is the closest line we've had all tournament, like, 9 cents.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens in this match. But let's get over to the casters and see what Purge and Breaky think about it too.
Welcome, guys. Game number 1, and we have a Meepo. Meepo alert going to be run by Gambit here against NaVi. Lower finals, of course, winner goes on to play NIP, but Meepo, is that the answer, Purge?
We'll see. The hero has been changed a little bit. Had that really good couple weeks of win rate enjoyment, but then it got nerfed a bunch, and since then we just don't really see it very often, even in pubs. So it'll be exciting to see how it matches up, especially because, like Kyle pointed out, they have a lot of heroes that are kind of weak to right-click. So it could work well. It could also go poorly, depending on how the lanes match up. Yeah, I mean, if the laning stage goes kind of weak, and like Kyle said, the OD and the Meepo they normally operate in the same lane. Maybe that's OD, I can't remember. Don't want to steal credit away, but maybe it'll go well. We'll see how the lanes develop, though.
Yeah, well, on top of that, Dahak, he's the one playing the Meepo. Of course, normally they're safe lane player, and OD in the hands of Valentine, and it's looking like OD is set up to be in that mid lane. So it's going to be more of a safe lane Meepo, which, again, is a bit unique. We don't see this hero a lot, but when we happen to see Meepo, usually would see it in the mid lane, I would think.
Yeah, very typically. I mean, another good thing that NaVi has going for them is that their heroes are very good at running at their opponents, so they should be able to score kills if they can keep the pressure up. And Gambit might not be able to slow that down with their heroes, because they don't have the best early team fighters, basically. Like Earth Spirit, for example, very good at those early engagements. Prophet can be good too because of his creeps, and so can like the Chen units. But I could definitely see a point where NaVi gets a little bit ahead and they just start running over Gambit repeatedly.
Yeah, you look at they have a Nature's Prophet, and again, this Nature's Prophet Chen combo, as Kyle was pointing out too, with the Alliance yesterday taking advantage of such strategy, that global presence. But outside of that, it does seem like they're going to need some time here before they're going to come online, you could say. But the bounty we're controlled, it's going to be 2 for 2. Not much contesting going on. And Meepo headed towards that safe lane bottom as expected. As far as how NaVi's going to answer it early on, looks like we're going to have at least Night Stalker down there.
The Observer Ward there going to help spot where Chen is rotating through in case Chen does get active in other lanes.
Yeah, Ward in both sides actually in that mid lane for the dire side.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea though, because against an Earth Spirit, for example, That's a hero that can dive on top of mid quite easily. And Lone Druid, if he has to deal with Earth Spirit plus Chen coming in, he's going to die almost every time. So this is going to keep him a little bit more safe in terms of his laning setup. Love this set, by the way. It's like an owl bear.
It's pretty cool. Almost like reminds me of Beastmaster somewhat.
Yeah, it is kind of similar. It's cool.
Fits the theme too, with the snow and everything. You know, he's dressed appropriately.
Now in the past, Lone Druid is actually a decent solution against OD because he has a lot of last hitting power. So even though OD will be able to Astral, he'll still have a chance at last hitting.
Is this going to be a bare build Lone Druid, especially now with the Meepo final pick? You think the Radiant's going to be good this game?
Yeah, the Radiance build is pretty good, but the real question is which player on Navi is going to buy the Radiance? And I would argue that it might be better on Lifestealer. I'm not sure, to be honest. If the Radiance is on the Bear, it's going to be easier to like quad net the Bear and kill him, or triple net the Bear and kill him with Meepo. So maybe it's safer to put on Lifestealer since his longevity will be better. Either way, if Navi gets late game, I've experimented a little bit with that the BAT reduction on Lone Druid. You can attack stupid fast in the late game. So he's got lots of options with his build.
All right, we'll see what Magical decides to do there on the Lone Druid. Right now, early on, it's Nature's Prophet. He's 6-5 up here at the top lane. Lifestealer 3-1. So no surprise, NP in the laning phase when it comes to harassing and last hitting. Of course, up there with the best of them, that Blightstone especially, allowing him to last hit effectively. And that mid matchup 4-0 OD versus a 6-5 Lone Druid. So again, still early.
It's pretty even, basically. Both players messing with each other. I mean, no matter what Magical buys, I'm sure it'll be the right thing. Like every single game, his item builds just look impeccable. I never see anything that looks even remotely weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. So he put down an extra boulder to try to trick his opponent into thinking that he was going to go to the right, and then he ended up going left.
Jukes him out right there, prevents the block from happening.
It's like there's the updated odds here for loot.bet.
Yeah. It's the overall match for the best of 3.
It's like it slightly favors Gambit, the last Meepo pick, probably making a big difference here. But so far, last hitting wise, just going great for Meepo. He's up to 16 last hits somehow. I don't know why it's so high, but he's doing great in the lane.
Yeah, against the Tinies, I mean, it's a support Tiny, but still, you figure the harassment would be there, and Night Stalker, it's daytime though, right? So Night Stalker in the earlier laning phase, not necessarily the strongest of heroes, I guess you could look at it that way. So yeah, Meepo, fantastic start right now. Keep an eye to see how that progression goes. Seneko, haven't had the first blood yet. We could be seeing one right here. Needs one more auto attack. He is regenerating slightly, but it's still not enough. Afterlife will take credit for the kill.
Just enough movement speed there on the Nature's Prophet. Wouldn't be surprised if he had a boot start or something similar. Meepo so far just getting lots of his passive points. It's going to allow him to heal his hero basically every time he goes for a last hit, which will mean that he will be able to keep his health up in lane pretty much no matter what. Definitely one of the things that Meepo had issues with before. It's kind of similar to CK in a way. It's like the heroes just needed some way to have better lane sustain, otherwise they were easy to harass and didn't really have item solutions. But now with the skill build, Meepo should be a little bit better off in terms of his ability to just stick around and keep getting gold.
Still a ways off, of course, but what kind of item progression would you expect on a Meepo? Does he need to prioritize an early Blink Dagger here or what?
Well, boots got changed again. I think that's important because going something like Power Treads is always going to be better on Meepo than something like old phase boots, for example. He is building treads just because he gets a lot of attack speed and stats, so he'll be able to steal a lot of health with that. Magical picking up level 5 in the mid lane, which means there is a chance at a root.
Oh, that chance coming through.
Good.
Yeah, Fairy Fire keeping him alive a little bit longer. Another root maybe. Nope, not even necessary. The auto attack from Lone Druid himself.
Painful.
Takes him out.
He could have potentially like salved to stay alive through that, but he would have lost his salve and had to go heal, so ends up just dying. Also potentially could have like salve banished, but I think his banish came up a little bit too late here.
FNG bottom lane. Chen will fall. Chew credit for the kill on the Tiny there. Him and Night Stalker working together. As 30 seconds until nighttime, so they're able to get a kill before the nighttime even hits on the Night Stalker. That always feels good. You're NaVi in this case, but again, in about 30 seconds, it will be nighttime, and that enhancement kicking online for Night Stalker when that does hit. So would you expect this lane to, well, actually, Blizzy, he might just be dead here. And Snare comes down a couple of auto attacks later. Dahak takes advantage. It's not nighttime yet, he says, and he gets the kill before.
That was nice. He had the Chen nuke on him, so it was just like bonus 15, 20 damage, just ended up being enough. I mean, once you get the net, 4 seconds of disable is a lot in the laning stage. What was the question you asked before that kill? I can't remember.
About Night Stalker, how the lane may change when it is nighttime, but now with him dying there, I suppose maybe not so much.
He'll probably get active somewhere. Yeah, he's actually setting up a kill in the mid lane here.
Void
Don't know if he
coming
has
out.
silence or not. He does not, it looks like, but they might be able to kill him. It's going to be close here. Yes, they do get him through the heal.
Nope, it's going to come at a cost, though. Frost Shield ain't saving him there. As Sinister's Gaze pulls back in Immersion. Frost Blast and Lone Druid able to finish that up. So a double kill for him. That first hit Entangle also helping things. It seems like he's getting fairly lucky with these bear hits.
It's a really good position for Lone Druid being. He's going a bear range build, most likely. Picked up 2 Wraith Bands. He's now building Power Treads. So he's just going to sit in the back and let his bear do good stuff. Now this is, I think it's cool because of the fact that Lifestealer probably wants to go Midas into Radiance, when I think Lifestealer is probably a better carrier. But in the same vein, if you're playing ranged Lone Druid, your weakness is getting dived on. And if there's a meatball on the enemy team, you have got to be worried going to build that he's doing. With that said, though, maybe it's scary no matter what.
Exactly.
And it's just safer this way that if his team plays frontline, that he can kind of cover himself. Not to mention Savage Aura is really good against Meepo. So it might be fine.
And this way, too, you know, his ranged build, you get the Radiance, a Lifestealer, you get a potential Mjolnir even on something like the Lone Druid, and he's talking about some nice AoE damage to even follow that up. So
yeah, it could work.
That's a direction that they're looking to go in.
And I believe Meepo doesn't have higher than normal magic resistance anymore. I think they removed that in the last patch or 2. So Mjolnir's probably still fine against Meepo.
Top lane, you see some setup, but Tiny actually going to toss an after. Immersion's already TP'd away, almost as if he didn't expect this to happen. He's going to the middle lane because there was action there, but Afterlife is taken out. OD does go down in the middle. That's why we saw Earth Spirit TPing right in front of Nature's Prophet dying there, and neither one is saved.
NaVi's getting everything they want out of this. I don't think it was bad for Earth Spirit to TP away. I don't think he would have actually helped, but the fact that they lost both heroes at the same time, it's just the tempo is going towards NaVi so hard. And it is nighttime, of course, but gotta be a little worried if you're losing this many heroes. Yeah,
well, it's nighttime, but Nightstalker is bottom lane trying to do his thing as far as CS goes. And again, Meepo still having a great time down there, but Tiny's the issue right now. And that's what we've been seeing plenty out of these position 4 Tinys coming into play.
Yeah, just sneak behind the enemies and then toss them back into a bad position. And for a hero like Nature's Prophet, who's almost entirely movement speed based, if you put him out of position like that, it's almost always going to be a kill.
So we are going to see the triple Wraith Band into a Dragon Lance for Meepo. Seems to be the item choice here. Of course, this hero's all about them stats, so not surprising to see said item. Middle lane, they really want to kill this Lone Druid. Understandably, he's having a great game. Going to try to wrap around, but he has a ward behind him too that will spot them if they set up in that flank position. So I believe Magical should be fine here.
Yeah, it's really hard to gank. Chen does have a creep in there. It's a Mud Golem. It's a decent solution. You can use your Banish to basically throw 3 boulders in the same gank. But without a smoke, it's so hard to get this kill. And even then, Magical's just over 1,000 HP now. It's not like he's skimping on health items. He's just genuinely survivable here. Lich in trouble, though.
There you go. Sprouted on up. Oh, not much you can do other than Frost Shield and hope for the best to Hawk. Trying to finish the job, unable to do so. Now he changes his attention to Crystallize, but with the Avalanche coming out, and now Nightstalker towards the party as well. Silence on top of that to Hawk. The one of his Meepos is getting low, trying to run it back. Tossed in the air, though. A couple more auto attacks into the Sprout block. Gonna save him for the time being. Eats through, though, and he does go down. So trying to save him to Nature's Prophet, but unable to do so. Spawn some treants, however. You see OD joining the party as well. Puts the Banish on Blizzy. Ends up being the 1-for-1 with Lich for the Meepo. Of course, favoring NaVi right there. Not done just yet, but I don't think they're going to chase not Crystallize. So, yeah, he'll be good. They turned on to Dahak. He thought he could make some assistance there. Unfortunately, bit him in the ass.
Yeah, I thought he was going to live. It took forever to kill him. They don't have that many damage items yet, I suppose, but that's a little
Nature's
surprise.
Prophet, he's in trouble, too. He does have that Vlad, so it was helping Meepo stay alive early in himself right there, but it still isn't enough. Immersion puts the boulder on through, but he's going to be run down by Lifestealer. Double kill for Crystallize. They will lose Nightstalker as Meepo finally comes back in and gets a little bit of revenge at least, but still, the overall numbers favoring NaVi.
Yeah. As Meepo gets more and more levels, it's going to change things, because right now he's hitting crazy hard. So I think it's working out decently well, the Meepo pick. But considering that Lone Druid's been free farming and getting kills before this point, it can't feel great for Gambit. But I don't know, maybe Meepo can do something incredible. The Dragon Lance is going to give him more generic stats as he gets more Meepos. Like, you already seen him easily able to physical damage overpower through like Nightstalker and through Lifestealer. Like, Lifestealer is genuinely going to be physically weak against the overwhelming damage that Meepo outputs. So there's still good things going for Gambit this game.
Hand of Midas just finished by Lifestealer, so he is going to start progressing with that. You see the Phase Boost pick up a Night Stalker. Again, that Dragonlance coming along for Meepo as well, but the 125 attack range talent just picked up by Lone Druid. If there was a question still at this point, that pretty much confirms it. He is absolutely going that ranged build and keeping on top of the net worth right now, 6,300 about. A bit over Meepo. OD, on the other hand, he's struggling. Triple null talisman, and that's it, really.
I mean, that's what happens when you die this much in a lane. And there's just not that much he can do to protect himself against a Lone Druid. He either has to save the banish for the moments he got ensnared, or just have a bad time.
Immersion, trying to get saved by Chen. Divine Favor comes out. There is a Shrine as well, so good job by NaVi not overcommitting to that, as that could have definitely been turned central. So stays alive. He puts down another Remnant and trying to let the Magnetize tick down Seneko, but he picks up on that and he'll TP back to base. Probably was going to be fun anyways, but better to be safe than sorry at that point.
Yep, safe thing to do. Just a lot of boulders used. It's not terrible for NaVi. Not much is lost. We'll slow down this push as much as they can with some AoEs here. Tiny doing a good job. In the right place at the right time. Magical not picking up level 10. Is the Vlad's aura kicking in, I'm guessing? Somebody's got a Vlad's.
Maybe Night Stalker? No, he just went Phase Boost.
Could be magical. Possible he built one.
Oh, well, yeah, that's an Nature's Prophet right there. Yeah, maybe it is. I know he had the Blightstone pickup, so yeah, possible he won one himself.
Yeah. It's a pretty good hero for an aura carry. We've seen it historically a couple times. I think Eternal Envy, when he played Lone Druid, I don't remember what team was, maybe Fnatic. There was a stint where he would buy like Vlad's Pipe, drum kind of stuff, just lots of Helm of the Dominator, a lot of auras, just to help out his team. It's actually a pretty good game for it if you think about it, because they do need ways to offset the damage that Meepo puts out. And, you know, it's going to increase his survivability as well, and if he is a little bit vulnerable to diving, it could work out.
Yeah.
But I would guess it's going to be like Vlad's Helm the Dominator.
Speaking of survivability, the 7th Strength Town also just picked up by Meepo, and the Dragonlance, I assume, is finished by now. So, again, we saw how difficult he was to kill at the top lane just earlier. That's going to continue to be the case as progress happens, of course. And Force Staff is going to be the item choice for OD eventually. He's working on it. Again, he's still in full recovery mode at this point in the jungle, but we got to start somewhere. Bottom lane? All right, take advantage of Nature's Prophet Chen. Here you go. Going to push the tower.
Yep, Ritz, this is the right thing to do. Chen's getting enough of his creeps for it to be valuable. This looks like regular old Chen, but with Meepo here, they got to be careful. They're coming, though.
Yeah, Chu, he has the Infest Bomb in him. There's a silence on top of that, but Blizzy is by himself for the time being. Pop Darkness, of course, for this. Flying after FNG is going to be killed off in the back lines. They're just killing up creeps back here, getting some bounty. I guess they'll take it. Oh, Tiny goes down to the Wrath of Nature, and Seneko ends up falling as well. How about that?
Immediately regrets his decision.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great stun from FNG playing the Chen there. The teleport in came from Tiny. He stunned him right as he got in, and Blizzy's up in the front like, where the hell is my team?
Yeah.
But it was a stun on the Tiny. He had to slowly walk in, and the best thing they got out of it was the Chen kill, which isn't terrible. Crystallize is very close to his relic, and it's 13 minutes into this game, dude. He's got 4 kills right now. This is going to be really fast Radiance, and that's got to be something that Gambit worries about, especially because they have kind of a pushing lineup going. Considering
how not very weak was the lane phase, but again, he was being bullied by the Nature's Prophet a bit too. Yeah, absolutely great farm for a Lifestealer now. See them taking advantage of Meepo right here and going to go for the earlier Roshan kill. I believe they should be able to get this without any... the area.
They are coming. Oh, he built a Deso?
Yeah, he has a Deso already. Oh my god, he's a right-click turret. FNG, he's going to go down. Roshan's still alive, barely magical. I saw the Sanity's Eclipse, I believe, coming down as well. Dahak does get the Aegis, though, so now he wants to fight Blizzy. He'll let him going down. Boulder coming through, Crystallize in the front lines, but that Rage is going to be wearing off soon. Tiny's already picked off. Dahak, it looks like he's still good to go if necessary. They take the Bear here with the Imprisonment, and they should be able to pick it off. Maybe a couple of traps. Yeah, the tree as well as the Ensnare. And Magical will lose at least one of his bears there. So they come in late trying to defend. And yeah, with that Desolator, it's understandable perhaps, but still doesn't work out.
Yeah, it's still difficult for them to fight. Meepo's armor is decent. It's got up to 15. It'll be pretty good against OD. And obviously between like Lifestealer and Night Stalker right clicks, extra minus armor is helpful. But I would just love it. Okay, that helps. There we go. Treads Deso. He's got lifesteal somehow. I don't know if he has a Vlad's on his bear or something. He must, because he's lifestealing, so it must be a Vlad's on the bear, which is kind of a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
Relic is on the way for lifestealer, or at least back on the way to the base. Doesn't quite have his recipe yet, but
almost there. 1350 for the recipe, I believe.
Once he finishes it, his game is going to be very different. I kind of like this Midas on Prophet as well.
Oh, well.
Maybe not right now, but...
Not going to help him right here, unfortunately. Not much would help him right there, to be fair. He's just caught by the darkness. That is Night Stalker, of course, has 15 minutes coming in. Going for the bounty rune. Night Stalker there first, though. Ends up taking... No, Night Stalker's building a Vlad. So
yeah, I'm real confused right now, too.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. It'll be a while till we get a bear click, I bet, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would assume it's actually pretty... I mean, because he got that Deso very fast. But yeah, E-Blade... Oh, my gosh, there you go. It is delivered.
This is a good way to diversify your damage. You can E-Blade into Sanity's Eclipse. There's a lot of non-int heroes on Navi's team, so heroes like the Lone Druid and the Lifestealer absolutely do have to be worried about that if they get E-Bladed.
No Blink Dagger, at least not yet, and it doesn't look like he's actually interested in going one this game.
Maybe okay, just because it makes his hero much stronger, you know? 2,000 gold is gold. Like, he basically have, do you want a Dragonlance or do you want a Blink Dagger? Is basically the decision that he made. And he chose, well, we're pushing, so I just need raw power. I don't need the ability to, like, initiate and score an initiation. It's more important that he just does damage.
Yeah, if they're grouped up together, I suppose it does make sense. You know, he doesn't need this. I'm going to pick off heroes left and right across the map.
Exactly. Blink's so much better if you're not going high ground.
Yeah. Well, they pressure high ground somewhat right there, but Navi able to defend it. Of course, it is still early on, only 16.5 minutes in. So you don't want to overdo it, despite having the Aegis on Dahak. No doubt want to make use of it. Crystallize, though. That Radiance, a couple of creep kills here. He's going to purchase the recipe, and that Radiance will be online. He is basically equivalent farm to his teammate Lone Druid, who is going to be building a Maelstrom. Yeah.
Maelstrom into BKB. Just all damage, basically. Not too unexpected.
Pipe coming out for Nature's Prophet. You mentioned the Midas earlier, and he's going to play more of this utility, our carrier.
Yeah, the pipe is actually really smart because what it's going to do is it's going to kind of ruin Navi's Radiance timing here. Because normally if you take a fight right now and Lifestealer stays alive for like, I don't know, 10 seconds, it's a lot of damage.
He gets caught.
So, okay, the roar's going to work. It hits everybody actually, but... Okay,
Clips. They do get it. The Ethereal Play finishes the job in half, and actually he's in a horrible spot. All four on top of him. He may go down, but they are fairly clumped up. You see Afterlife in the backlands cutting off Blizzy, but now Blizzy turns his attention back on top of him. Crystallize.
Got to run. He's dodging nets.
Trying to. He's trying to dodge nets. He gets the Shrine off at least. And he's still going to be caught on, though. Gets a Frog Shield over, pops the Rage down. Immersion's going to end up dropping. Dahak, one of his meeples is low. It's going to get picked off right there. So the Aegis bringing him back up, but he's losing teammates around him. Afterlife, the last one standing around the meeple right now. But with Dahak back up, nice silence on top of him, though. He can't poof just yet. He's trying to chase that ledge, or more so get the hell on out of here. But he loses Nature's Prophet. Dahak's doing the spread, the Delta split, but he TP out. Nice job with the Ethereal Play. Puts himself immune to the physical damage. Go over the turn goes to Nako. He's going to be able to get at least one. Puts the nets out. Dahak doing a great job with the micro, but it still is not enough in the end. He did his darnest right there, but Navi just too much power.
It was impressive how tanky that Meepo was, actually. It took Lifestealer a lot of work to kill him, despite having Radiance and Midas and Phase Boots and all this feast damage. Meepo is making it work with all the extra armor. Picks up the evasion talent as well, which is not a bad idea, I must say.
Even tankier. Yeah, it's makes sense from that perspective, but that was a fight. Again, they engaged on the Magical. They got the, well, they didn't even kill him, I suppose, early on. Yeah, the Savage Roar came out, and then...
It took some doing. They'd use Sanity's Eclipse maybe a little early. So definitely good for them.
Crystallize. He's walking around with an Invis Rune. Currently does have the Radiance turned off, so...
Yeah, he's just looking for an easy kill. Probably Chen is what he was hoping for, just a solo Chen. That's like the one hero that he could kill without a doubt. Earth Spirit's a little too hard. Maybe he could get Nature's Prophet, but once Prophet does make his pipe, the game is going to get easier for Gambit for sure, just because they can offset a lot of that Radiance damage. Chen with a mech would also really help.
Yeah, that would. He is under farm, though, under leveled. No penitence even yet. He is level 6, but again, we're 19 minutes into the game, so this Chen is struggling to bring a bit to the table.
Yeah.
Blizzy, he's in hunt.
He's got good items. Very tanky.
I guess a Crimson Guard going to be coming from that. Against Gambit's lineup.
You know, maybe the lifesteal that I've been seeing was Spirit Link and not Vlad's. That's probably what it's been.
Animation thrown off.
Yeah. Yeah.
BKB for Lone Druid is coming along. Needs the recipe, but once he has that, of course, that'll do plenty. And they're going to go tier 3. Who would have thought NaVi would be the one going tier 3 first? What we're seeing right here, but they're the ones knocking on the door now at the top lane. Gambit, a bit of a trade coming out, so we're going to see who reacts to what. Already a couple of TPs from the side of NaVi, and it seems like NaVi is going to be the one to respond at the top.
Yeah, they don't want to mess around with this.
Dahak. A couple of his meeples are being chased to the left. He has one hiding there, as we see.
This is the right thing to do, is play overly defensive, basically. They need to get a catch if possible, but
Well, they do. They catch one. Again, we know how tanky he is. The evasion talent and everything kicking in too, but Dahak going to try to poof away. No, he gets pulled in by the Sinister's gaze, and down goes Meepo. He's out for
close.
50 seconds.
If they didn't have Sinister gaze there, I think he might have been able to get away.
Oh, yeah.
Very possible, if not for the roar or something.
You can tell he's comfortable with the splitting and the micro, but again, that was just a good catch right there from NaVi. And like you said, without the gaze, he very likely does poof out in time, but doesn't happen.
Lone Druid grabs the Savage Roar cooldown talent, which is going to be really useful this game to have on a low cooldown. I think it puts it down to like an 8-second cooldown once it's maxed out. It's fantastic. Can use it to interrupt IPs like that, interrupt poofs, keep his own hero protected. But the reason they need to play defensive this game is because Gambit's lineup is so much better at pushing and split pushing that you just never want to give them a tower advantage or a Rax advantage. So even though they maybe could have pressured a little bit bottom, it's just a lot safer to do what they're doing.
Immersion, I don't know what that was about, frankly. He rolls in right to a death trap. And he's out for 30 seconds now. So Meepo is back up, but now they're going to lose Chen. So two are dead. Both do have buybacks, I suppose. But Alpha9, he just has to make his way back to the base. Or using his forest staff. He has a Kaya to go along with that.
Damage.
Yeah.
With the Deso picked up already. Man, the bear does so much. He doesn't even have items.
That bear, it's just the levels alone doing work, and like I said with the Deso, debuff on top of that Chew. He tosses back OD. OD, Sinister's Gaze pulling him in as well. No chance for an imprisonment. Gets the 4-step and the imprisonment at the last second, so he will survive for the time being. The Rax is still barely alive, Meepo, though he's fallen back. Alpha9 eventually is going to be picked up. Magnetize put on multiple heroes, and they do get the drop on Chew there, playing Tiny, but not Crystallize. Having to walk back, and Magnetize still taken, throws out another Remnant, but they take out the melee Rax, and he's going to go for the Rage TP play, which they do not have a stopper for.
It's definitely the right time to get out. I mean, they got the melee barracks already. They got away with it with only losing a support Tiny. They've got to be super pleased with that.
Yeah, you saw Meepo trying to flank them, cut them off as they retreated, but unable to get there in time.
Really nice push. It's kind of cool to see that they basically took this lineup that looked like it wasn't going to be very early game viable, and they just completely made it work. Like they did a great job pressuring Gambit as a whole, and they've gotten. Like, a Deso is not a very expensive item. Almost always, if somebody wants like an early cost-efficient damage item, they'll buy a Maelstrom. But if Lone Druid goes Maelstrom, he just doesn't do much damage to towers, because really, Maelstrom is mostly like a farming or hero damage before BKB item. But now they've diversified their damage. They've gotten both a Radiance. But imagine if like your opponent's got a Pipe and you had a Radiance and a Maelstrom. It's like your Maelstrom is already countered. But by buying the Deso, they diversify their damage and they're going to kill towers really fast. And you saw the benefit there. They wouldn't have been able to get that Rax probably without having the Deso picked up really fast.
Oh, I think there's no question asked, absolutely. In fact, he just gets the BKB now purchased on top of this, so this Lone Druid is a beast right now, literally. And he's not even the top farm. Lifestealer's got a good 3K net worth over him.
And the crazy part is that with BKB, there's actually no threats on the board anymore. He's just fine.
Yeah, and you see the auto attacks with the Deso. Red dots going in, Immersion, and toss back on the creep, unfortunately, but Immersion still pulled in. Gonna go be put under by the Astral Imprisonment. Crystallize at the front lines, but Dahak, he's able to take it for the time being, but Immersion gets picked off on her. Spirit Darkness comes out of the silence. Dahak, the Chain Frost is bouncing around. He's in trouble, puts himself immune with the Ghost Scepter, but it's just simply not going to be enough in the long run. He will fall. Has a buyback if he wants to. Astral Imprisonment catches, it looks like Crystallize, but they just call GG just like that. It's over. The Meepo pick, unfortunately, not working for Gambit. I mean, he himself did okay, but just NaVi, I think it goes back to the point you were just stressing, Purge, that they did a fantastic job of itemization, a Desolator early on Lone Druid, the absolute key.